Alright, hello YouTube. Welcome back to another over-the-board analysis. I know it's been quite a long time. I'm like maybe a little bit like 3 months late with this one, but alas. Better late than never, as they say. So this was round 2 of the Denver Open. You can watch the vlog somewhere. I don't have the power to do that, it's in the description. This was against Neil Bavakati. He's an NM. I did not play well. I remember specifically that I played this game very poorly, so I hope we can get at least some sort of education out of this, but I'm not sure we will. Alright, d4, d5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight f6, g3, bishop b4 check. So this is a line that I've only ever prepared for Daniel. And I've played a few games that are up somewhere where I played this knight d2 move, which is less common than bishop d2, but almost equally good. But it's nice because people aren't as prepared for knight d2. And the problem is I had prep in this line, but it had been so long that I forbore everything. And so I was just trying, again, my goal for the tournament was to play normal moves quickly. So naturally I got terrible positions out of the opening and won endgames, or just lost out of the opening. So he takes on c4, and I played a3. The main move is just to play bishop g2. So I've already messed up one move after going into this line. a3 is not bad, but bishop takes d2 is sort of forced, because otherwise he just goes back and I take on c4 with no issues, and I have 2 center pawns and a lead in development, so that would be quite bad. And after bishop takes d2, b5. b5 is not the main move. a6 is better here, or bishop d7, and it's sort of similar to other main lines. But b5 struck me as maybe incorrect here. It just felt sort of wrong. And okay, what is really different here than, you know, like normal lines where he plays b5? Number 1, he doesn't have a dark squared bishop, and number 2, I've already played a3. Where normally the response to b5 will be a4 and b3. But here, it doesn't really matter that I've already played a3. It's not like I really wasted a tempo, because I've gained something with that tempo. I've gained the bishop pair. So naturally a4 is the best move, and white is already like a teeny tiny bit better. c6 is fine. I don't really envy people who play these lines with black. I mean, I've tried it a few times, and by these lines I just mean any lines where b5 is played and you're trying to hang on to the c4 pawn. Like, I don't get it. I don't like not having any development, but it's obviously okay. Why no trigger warning? But anyway, for some reason, okay, never mind. I thought this is where I played a stupid move. Bishop g2 is fine. It's best move. So we want to, when your opponent has like some sort of imbalance, like you have a lead in development, a way to make that imbalance or that advantage felt more is to increase the imbalance by developing more. So if I were to just fuck around with my pawns right now, he could catch up, he could castle, he could develop his bishop and his knight, and he would have no problems. So what I want to do is I want to castle and get my pieces developed as soon as possible, so it's even harder for him to develop. Yeah, make it feel stronger. So that is what I'm doing. So he plays bishop b7, and I'm really not sure why I didn't play b3 here. It's so thematic, and it's just better here than in other positions, because you don't even have to worry about c3 lines, because there's not a knight on d2, there's a bishop on d2. So b3 and white is just doing very, very well. My move is not bad, but I just don't really, and again, this was a long time ago, so I don't know my thinking, but I don't know why I didn't play b3. I know it was on my radar, and I know I thought about it, but I really don't know why I wouldn't play b3. It's just kind of strange to me. But obviously, I want to take on c4 and make his pawns really weird, and his pawns are all fucking with his development, and they're isolated and weak and doubled, and I have no weaknesses. I mean, I guess it could be argued that maybe this is a passed pawn, but I don't think he's going to hold on to it for long. Maybe I just wasn't sure about this position, but I don't know why I wouldn't be. How does he respond? I don't understand why I didn't go for this. I really don't. This bishop b4 to stop castling. Okay. All right, so you and me, we're on the same page. I guess I didn't play it here. Bishop b4 is not so good here because of a5, and I can't stay on the diagonal because of this. And if I play bishop c5, just knight a6, and I immediately get kicked. And then I don't have the bishop pair, which was one of my, one of the pros to this this position. I just castled, and I assume it's because I was like, I can play b3 whenever I want to, but I wasn't sure about it, so I thought castling couldn't be bad, so I might as well do it because I know I have to castle, which is fair, but and that probably goes along with just like how I was playing. I just was playing fast, and I was like, I don't know about b3, I don't want to calculate it, I'll just castle. So I assume that's what happened. And then he castled. And I played a really weird, stupid move here. Again, b3, like, normal, good. But maybe I just didn't really see... maybe I saw like a6 and I didn't really know how to proceed from here. Of course I can just put rooks somewhere, increase pressure, but I didn't think that the pressure was, I don't know, like that difficult for him to deal with at a glance. Again, I'm not really calculating, but I ended up playing bishop b4 here, which is almost never an idea. So it's kind of shocking to me that I would play this. Well, I mean, it comes with a tempo. I probably was thinking that because he played kind of a weird inferior line, maybe I can get away with a weird move. But I don't really understand. So rook e8 is forced, and then I played knight e5. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I did this. Okay, like he can't move his knight so easily. Maybe I was like, oh, he can't kick my bishop out because then I take here. But he just played knight d5, and then my position is stupid, and I should just put my bishop back where it was. So it's just very weird. But of course, when you make a stupid move, I think it's even harder to admit that and then go backwards and put your piece where it was. So playing a move like bishop d2 is almost never going to happen. I played bishop c5, which is about the same as bishop d2. And it's just weird. Like, I think that the control I have over the dark squares is sort of artificial. Because after f6, I'm guessing this was all based on a miscalculation. The computer says I should have played knight g4, which I know I thought. I remember thinking about it, but I also remember thinking that my knight was dumb on g4, but I felt like maybe I just had to commit with e4. It's just strange. Like, the knight could possibly... Or I guess it couldn't. Knight b6, then knight g4. So I included e4. Ah, yes. I remember. So it all makes sense now. My idea was to sack an exchange. I wanted to play rook takes a4 here, and queen takes a4. And apparently I thought I had enough compensation here for the exchange. Again, I remember just kind of playing on feeling. And I thought sacking the exchange was automatic here. And, okay, so this is just bad for white, apparently, according to the engine. I think it's hard for, you know, a human to play black here. And my opponent agreed with me because he didn't even take the pawn. So it's not complete bullshit if the you know, master that I'm playing, you know, also kind of agreed that he didn't want to play that position. So he opts for knight a6, which is unlucky for me because now I don't even get to have fun and I have a bad position. It's not as bad, but it's kind of sad. I ended up playing a5. Better would be to take on b5 and then play b3, you know? And granted, this is a bad position, but the one I got was worse. So knight takes c5, a takes b. And I do remember specifically in this position, I remember I didn't see that knight d3 was possible. Like it wasn't on my radar for some reason. And you can see why I've been putting off looking at these games because the quality is just so low. And I don't even know how to make excuses for myself. Like I don't know. Like why did I go into this? Like who knows? There's no justification for it. But yeah, I remember like he played knight d3 and I was like, oh, like I didn't see that. Again, I wanted, if knight a4, I wanted to take, I think. No, here doesn't make sense because he's taking on b6 with the tempo. I don't know. I don't know what was going on with me. Pause the video to find out why Sarah went into this. There's no reason. I just remember I was like, God, I have such a bad position. I always get such a bad position against Neil. Like, he probably thinks I'm, like, an idiot and I'm terrible. Because I just play, like, I never play well against him. I never have. So it's, I don't know. And then I finally play b3, but now it's just too late because look at his knight. Like, I can resign. So then he just sort of cleans up, and that's two connected pass pawns. So I think I fucked around for a little bit, but I really don't see. I think I remember this was all time pressure a little bit, so I don't really have much to say about it. But like this position, like in some miracle case, maybe I could hold, but he played well, and eventually I lost. But I'll skip to the end. This was in the vlog. CL Smith suggested king h3 here. That's what we were rooting for. But he wanted to do that for this. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, not a great game, but it's just strange. Because I've played like 20 other games where I have played b3. But here, for some reason, I decided not to. It's kind of strange. The commentator was very, very gracious and gave me a novelty for that, when he should have given me a mistake. But it was okay at some point in the rook endgame? No way, really? I mean, it's just one of those cases where if I had known the theory really, really well, and he played a line that was unfamiliar to me, then I could have said, maybe I can really try and take advantage of this. But if I don't actually know theory, if I know one main line and he plays something else, like it's probably still an okay line. And I can't just, you know, make shit up. So that's why I'm starting to work on my openings again, because I'm sick of getting bad positions. Apparently in this position, if I play e5, I'm okay. What did I play here? I took. Yeah, this doesn't really make sense. Why wouldn't I play e5? That's really odd. Why wouldn't I guess I thought my knight was trapped, but yeah, this is interesting. I didn't see any of this. Because now he's forced to go to the back rank maybe, and then rook a3 is not so easily defended with this because like c7. That's all true. I wish I had seen that. But I didn't. But anyway, yeah, that was round 2.